today we're going to be taking a look at a new Battlefield 2025 leak. So welcome in, guys, if you're watching this video over on the YouTube side. And then after that, we're going to jump in game, we're going to play some update 6.4, and I'm going to give you guys my impressions on that. As always, guys, if you enjoy the content on the channel, don't forget to hit the subscriber button. Thank you so much for 50,000 subscribers. It took a while, but we got there in the end. So thank you guys so much for the support there. So the leak that we have today is from no other than Tom Henderson. It's on Insider Gaming. For those of you who aren't aware, Insider Gaming is the publication that Tom runs, I believe. I think he's also got some other people helping him out on that project. But Tom Henderson, for those who aren't aware, he basically was like the main leaker for Battlefield 2042. He seems to have a lot of inside contacts in the gaming industry. Don't ask me where he gets his sources from. I'm sure he would never divulge them. But generally speaking, whatever Tom says seems to be accurate. Take it all with a grain of salt. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Of course, like whenever we're talking about leaks, that's always the case. But I'm just saying, he's probably been right way more often than he's been wrong. So, you know, I do think that his sources are generally correct about things. All right, guys. So I'm going to skip a little bit of the article here. I will link this down below if you guys want to read this for yourself. But this is the interesting bit. The first bit is basically just about Battlefield 2042 kind of being a failure and that EA have to pull things back. That the game here, Andrew Wilson, said that it's, or hinted that it's going to release in late 2025, which we already knew. However, this is the interesting bit here. So they say here, Insider Gaming has also learned that the next Battlefield title is taking somewhat of a back-to-its-roots approach with the likes of 64-player matches, the return of its 4-class system, and an overhaul to its destruction systems. As for the game's setting itself, it will be set in a modern day, somewhere around 2025 to 2030, with a strong story-driven emphasis on modern technology used in war. Now, he goes on here saying, Ripple Effect, the studio that is working on a new experience for the Battlefield franchise, is also working on a new Battle Royale title that is currently aimed to be free to play and follow a similar strategy to the highly successful Call of Duty Warzone that will see the free-to-play experience tie in with its premium release. So that really didn't surprise me at all. That's also what I and others have speculated that Ripple Effect are working on. Maybe it's a Battle Royale. Turns out that is indeed the case. The game is said to be the brainchild of Byron Bede, so I believe he's the general manager who had been previously leading live service for Call of Duty. Currently, the game has 2 different game modes, including the classic Battle Royale experience and a mode called named Gauntlet, which will see teams of players compete in objective-based modes, with the highest scoring team being kicked out after each mission. The news may come as a shock to some, but past Battlefield 3rd game mode experiences, including Battlefield 5's Battle Royale Firestorm and Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone, missed huge opportunities with the titles not being free to play. What do you think of Battlefield's next mainline game, having a Battle Royale? Let us know in the comments. So, okay, I have a fair few things to say about this. First of all, let's start with one of the main 2 bits of news here. So, I really like, personally, that Battlefield is going back to its roots, and that it doesn't really surprise me that EA are, seemingly traveling the safest route here. A lot of you guys on stream have asked me, what do I want to see, or what do I think the next Battlefield game is going to be like, and that's exactly what I've said. They're going to have, a modern day era game. They're going to bring back the class system. They're going to go back to 64 players. They're going to improve the destruction over Battlefield 2042, and that seems to be exactly what they're doing. So, not really a great surprise, I don't think, for any of us, but certainly good news, nevertheless, because that's what we all really want. Now, the second part of this article is probably a little bit controversial for a lot of you guys. Chat, let me know what you think of this as well. So, a Battle Royale that's free to play, that could be exactly what the game needs to bring in a new generation of players. And I do have a lot of faith in Ripple Effect to be able to deliver such a game mode. Ripple Effect, they used to be DICE LA. They've done some fantastic work on Battlefield 4. with the CTE, the community test environment. They really kind of patched up Battlefield 4 and made it into the game that it is today. They've done some great work on Portal. Sure, maybe it wasn't as supported as many of us had hoped that it would be, but all in all, Ripple Effect have done some really good stuff. So the fact that they are in charge of this experience definitely does give me hope. On the other hand, a lot of people don't want a Battle Royale. That's no secret, and we all know that. And I think this could go like one of two ways. So either A, it's going to flop like Firestorm and like Hazard Zone did, you know, in Battlefield 2042, which wouldn't be great because then they're just going to waste resources. Or if it does go the way of Call of Duty, then there is definitely a bit of a risk that it could outshine the core Battlefield experience. And all of a sudden, you know, Battlefield is going to be known for Battle Royale more than anything else. Kind of the same as what we saw with Call of Duty. So, you know, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, the first one that came along, I got really stuck into that game, and I was loving, you know, playing Search and Destroy and Domination and all of these game modes. And then Warzone came out. And Warzone was a really great Battle Royale, but now I kind of feel that Call of Duty is always more synonymous with Battle Royale and these other game modes that have come out than it is with Domination or Search and Destroy and all of these game modes that it originally became known for. And so I do worry that, let's say, millions of players jump into the next Battlefield game, right? They're all playing this Battle Royale mode. You know, what happens if that then starts to outshine the main mode? Old veterans like myself and probably a lot of you guys who don't want a Battle Royale game, does that mean we're not going to be able to play Battlefield anymore? Of course, you can always say, like, yeah, you can just play the regular game, but if most of the player base have moved over to this Battle Royale, then it could sort of endanger the core identity of Battlefield itself. However, I will say that, like, the Gauntlet Mode, that sounds very interesting. So it sounds almost similar to the finals. If you guys have played the finals, they have these tournaments in there where at the end of one round, I think a couple of teams get knocked out, and it's sort of like elimination, and it's basically like the last team standing wins, and that's what this Gauntlet Mode here sounds like it's going to be. That's also being made by Ripple Effect, and also that may lead to some sort of competitive play for Battlefield. I've always wanted to see like more of a competitive scene for Battlefield. That's not to say that I want the game in general to be far more competitive and for everybody to have to be, you know, a tryhard or a sweat or whatever you want to call it, right? But I do think there should be a place for competitive players, because not only is it good for the player base and bringing in more people, but you know, you could have people casting games at the highest level. You could have prize pools, and it would just be an opportunity to create interesting events online where the player base can rally around those events and watch some of the best players in Battlefield going at it against one another for a prize. So who knows? Maybe this Gauntlet Mode is going to be interesting, but I don't know, man. What do you guys think about this so far? Of course, we've just seen Marcus Leto. I put out a video on this yesterday. Marcus Leto has left, and from the sounds of things, it sounds like he left on bitter terms. We don't really know the details, but it doesn't sound great. He almost sounds like he wants to completely quit working in game development. So, you know, what kind of an experience do you have to go through for that to be the outcome? Also, the other guy who he founded Ridgeline Games with, he's also left. I think he actually left before Marcus. I forgot to mention that in yesterday's video, and his name escapes me. So I think they were probably kind of like buddies, and they said, you know, if you get rid of one of us, then you get rid of both of us. And it looks like they've both gone.